This is my design that I have made up for my coupon that I'm going to be giving for Christmas gifts this year, and I'm going to show you quickly how I made this design. So I've just got myself a basic rectangle square from the shapes menu, and I've made it pretty big in order to just allow me to work with it, and then afterwards I'm going to be able to change the size of this to what I want it to be. I've just made my text up, so I've put that it's a snack credit. This coupon entitles the holder to 1 snack credit in Universal Studios Orlando, and this one is for miles. And then I've put a Grinch on here, and I've got these swirly bits as well. Now, when you go through, if you wish to use this project, you can, but you won't be able to use the Grinch because that's something that I have uploaded. So I will have that deleted from this project, but you can change the project and add whatever you want to add to make it your own. So this will be available in my profile. As usual, if you don't know how to find a profile, I'll link a really super quick video up above and down below for you, so you can check that out as well. Now what I've done at the moment is just grouped it all together, and it's all set as a basic cut. But of course, because I'm going to be using my Minc foiling machine today for this project, I don't want it to actually be a basic cut. So what I'm going to do is get my rectangle here, and I'm going to select everything first of all. And what I want to do is come up to a line, and I'm just going to click on center. So that now means that my coupon is perfectly centered there. I'm going to leave everything selected, and I'm going to come down to the bottom here, and I'm going to click on flatten. Okay, so now that it's flattened, you can see that Cricut Design Space has turned my design into a print then cut image, and all of my layers have disappeared, and it's all been condensed into these two that you can see here. I do have a little warning image here as well, and that is there, I know straight away, because my project is too big for print then cut. So there's 2 different ways we can go about changing this now. If I click on that, it's going to tell me that the image is too large. It's going to give me the option to auto resize that image. So I can do that by just clicking on it, but now it's still really big. It's basically going to fill an A4 sheet. So if I go through to make it, you're going to see that. As you can see, it's still a little bit on the old large side. So I'm going to come back to it. But what I need to do is resize it to how I want it to be. So I'm just going to grab a ruler and have a quick look. And I'm thinking I want it to be about 15 centimetres in width. Thereabouts. I think that will be perfect. Let's go through to make it now. Yeah, that's absolutely fabulous. Right, what I'm going to do now then is go through to continue. And I want to send this to my printer. Now, because I'm using my Minc, I need this to be printed on my laser printer. So I need to click on send to printer, and I need to make sure that it's picking up the right printer. It is choosing the Brother HL2350DW series, which is my laser printer. I am going to turn off bleed. I don't require it for this particular design, but I am going to open the system dialog. So let's do that and click on print. Now what I need to do is make sure that I haven't got any of my presets selected. So when I print my Etsy orders, I have one that prints all of my paperwork onto one sheet to save paper. So I want to make sure that's not selected, and it isn't. As you can see, it's down there. So I've got default settings, A4, media and qualities on auto. That is fine for the laser printer. So I'm just going to pop my cardstock into my printer now, and then I'm going to click on print. Here is my design then, and I've printed it on to black cardstock. The reason I've printed it onto black is so that when the foiling is done, it's going to look absolutely amazing. So first thing to do then is to get the foiling done, and the reason that I always do my foiling first is to minimize the chance of bits of glitter or little bits of debris getting stuck onto where I need to foil, because the problem that you'll find if that happens is it will stop the foil from sticking to your design, and then you'll end up with a spotty foiling. So let me just move this out of the way, and I'm going to get my Minc on my desk, get it plugged in and get it heating up ready to get the foil onto this design. It is actually the next day now, because yesterday afternoon I had to go and do mom stuff, so it ruined my flow with filming. So here's my Minc. I've got it ready, and I've got my design all done as I've just showed you. I've just popped it to one side out the way to make sure nothing gets onto it. So what I'm going to do is turn my Minc on. I'm going to turn it up to number 3, which is where I normally do my foiling on. So that light will flash red now until it's nice and warmed up and it's ready to go. The foil that I'm using today on this black is going to be this silver one. This is from patsymay.co.uk. You can see their details are on the side of this sticker here, and this is the one that I like to use on black. It looks really nice when it's done, and it creates a really nice complementary colour scheme. So that's what we're going to use. I've just got my sleeve here ready, so let's just push this Minc over here a touch until that's ready to go. I'm going to get my design now, and I'm going to prep my design ready. So you need to be sure when you are doing foiling, as I mentioned, that nothing is on your design. So I just use a brush, and what I do is just sweep it over, and I just make sure that there are no dusty particles or anything like that on there. So we just want to make sure that that is nice and clear of any glitter or any bits and bobs that might have got onto it from your desk. Then all I'm going to do is just cut out a small piece of this that's going to cover that design. So we don't want it to be huge. Let's just turn that round. It doesn't need to be massive, and we want to just make sure that it covers that whole design. Now that means it's done. Let's just grab a pair of scissors and just cut a piece of this off. I'm actually not going to put this through the Cricut because it's just a perfect rectangular shape, as we saw when we attached it, so it's not really necessary to cut it on the Cricut. Let's just pop that onto there. Now what I do is just turn this around. I'm going to get my sleeve, so let's bring the Minc back into the shot. This is my sleeve. Let's open it up, and what we do is just put that all the way in there. Now it's important to mention that if you've got a design which you are going to be putting through the Cricut, and you've got your registration marks here, here, here and here, it is important when you put it into your sleeve that you either firstly cover those registration marks completely with the foil, or if you don't want to put a full sheet on, because that will effectively be wasted then just to get down to these registration marks that are at the bottom. If you don't want to do that, what you need to do is put a piece of either A4 copy paper or some sort of mask inside of there, and that's just going to stop any of the toner off of your design going onto your carrier. And you can actually see, if you look closely at my carrier, where I failed to do that, and that was before the registration marks were changed to just the corner notches. So what you want to do is, oops, I've pressed the button on that, let's put it back to 3. What you want to do is just smooth it out, press it down as much as you can, make sure that you've got a really nice press down on there, and then once you're happy that that is all in place, you'll want to feed it into your Minc and just let it do its thing. It takes about probably 30 or 40 seconds for it to pass through, and once it starts, it's hands-free, it's just doing it itself now, and it's just going to go through the machine like that. Alright, it's nearly done. It's gone all the way through more or less, so I'm just going to support it because I haven't got much space the other side of it for it to go through. And because this is the 12 by 12 Minc, it does need a lot of space to work. I'm hoping there was nothing on the design. Right, that's done. When it comes out, you might feel it's a bit warm, but it does cool really, really quickly. So I'm just going to quickly turn this off. So I'll just put it back to 0 before I turn it off at its switch. I'm just going to push it back again out of the way. Here is my design ready to go. We just need to make sure that it's cooled. So we just need to give it a really good cool down. Let's open up the sleeve. Now I'm really cautious when I open the sleeve, just to be sure that I don't get anything inside of it. And you want to make sure that you flap that sleeve straight back down and put it back somewhere nice and tidy and safe out the way, so that you don't get bits and bobs inside of it. Alright then, here's the design, and you can see how it is stuck down to the bits where the text is and where my little framework is around the edges. So all we want to do is peel it back Wow, look at that. And you can see here, this is what the foil looks like afterwards. So it has effectively, all that tacky toner has picked up all of this foil off this sheet and taken it onto our design. And if I just go like this under the light, you can see how shiny and lovely that is. So now all I'm going to do is grab my guillotine. I'm going to cut this out, and then it's ready to go into Miles's Christmas box. This is the guillotine that I'm going to use for this. So I picked this up at a craft fair. I think you can probably get it online. So if you're interested, I will put a link down below to it. And that is my snack credit ticket ready for my gift box. I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. Doesn't it look fab? I think he's going to love this when he opens it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, don't forget to subscribe and drop me any questions or comments that you have down below. As usual, everything I've used will be linked below for you so that you can check it out if you want to. And don't forget, I'll see you again for another video really soon. Take care. Bye.